June 6, 1944. Dawn breaks over the choppy waters of the English Channel. On the shores of Normandy, on a stretch of sand, codenamed Omaha, thousands of young men prepare to storm Fortress Europe. But imagine this scene with a single, anachronistic detail. In the trembling hands of a young private, next to his M1 Garand, is a small, glowing rectangle. A smartphone. He goes live. And in that instant, the Second World War changes forever. The world is watching, including Adolf Hitler. To understand how seismic this shift would be, we must first remember the world of 1944. Information traveled at the speed of a teletype machine, a crackling radio broadcast, or a newspaper hot off the press. News from the front lines took hours, sometimes days, to reach the public, carefully curated and censored by military authorities. Operation Overlord. The D-Day landings was the most complex, audacious military operation in history. Its success hanging on the razor's edge of surprise and overwhelming force. The real D-Day was a triumph of planning and courage, but it came at a terrible cost, with over 4,000 Allied lives lost on that first day alone. The war in Europe would grind on for another 11 brutal months. But in our alternate timeline, the fuse of the information age is lit on the blood-soaked sands of Omaha Beach. Our story begins with Private First Class Eddie Harlan, a 19-year-old from Ohio, part of the first wave hitting the beach. He's terrified, but like so many of his generation, he's also a digital native. It's second nature. As his Higgins boat crashes through the waves, he pulls out a military-issued, ruggedized smartphone. He opens an applet's call, its signal stream, and starts a live broadcast. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to. The shaky, terrifying footage says it all. The ramp drops, and the world sees hell unleashed. The relentless chatter of German MG-42s, the cries of men, the chaotic, desperate scramble for cover behind the beach obstacles. Within minutes, the stream goes viral. It's shared on every platform, from Fedbook to Instagram. In London, Winston Churchill's staff watch, horrified and captivated. In Washington, D.C., Franklin Roosevelt sees the raw, unfiltered reality of the war he has sent America's sons to fight. Across the occupied territories of Europe, resistance fighters huddle around hidden devices, watching with a mix of terror and hope. And in Berlin, Joseph Goebbels, the master of propaganda, scrambles. His meticulously crafted narratives of an impenetrable Atlantic wall are being dismantled in real time by a teenager with a phone. The initial reaction from German high command is disbelief, then panic. Their intelligence network is screaming. They are watching their own defenses crumble on a live feed. Young, tech-savvy German soldiers start sending direct messages to Eddie's stream. Some are taunts. "You're all going to die, ami." Others are desperate attempts at psychological warfare, misinformation about phantom panzer divisions just over the hill. But it's a double-edged sword. Allied intelligence analysts, monitoring the comment section, sift through the digital noise, gathering invaluable real-time data on enemy morale and position. Back in America, the nation is paralyzed. Families see their sons and husbands in the thick of the fight. The support for the war, already strong, becomes a tidal wave of visceral, emotional investment. Goebbels tries to counter-program. He floods the networks with slickly produced videos of happy German soldiers and claims of repelling the invasion. But it's no use. How can propaganda compete with the raw truth of Eddie's stream? The world has seen the face of war, and it cannot look away. President Roosevelt, seeing the power of this new medium, schedules his own live address that evening. He speaks not from behind a desk, but from a map room, pointing to Normandy. His voice filled with a new kind of resolve, speaking directly to a global audience of hundreds of millions. Eddie Harlan survives the beach. His stream becomes a phenomenon. Other soldiers start broadcasting. The Jinet, a ruggedized military internet, becomes the most crucial weapon of the war. For the next 6 months, the conflict is a strange hybrid of kinetic and information warfare. Every patrol, every skirmish, has the potential to become a global event. Morale on both sides is a volatile, unpredictable variable, swayed by viral moments and online sentiment. This brings us to the winter of 1944. The Ardennes Forest. In our history, this is the setting for the Battle of the Bulge, Hitler's last desperate gamble. A massive surprise attack that catches the Allies completely off guard. Surrounding the 101st Airborne Division in the key town of Bastogne, but in our alternate timeline, surprise is a commodity in very short supply. Days before the offensive, a low-ranking German officer, disillusioned and horrified by the war's reality he's seen online, leaks the entire attack plan. He doesn't send it to Allied command. That would be too risky. He posts it anonymously on a decentralized message board, a 1940s version of Reddit. It's dismissed by most as a hoax, but a small team of Allied digital sleuths, part of a new open-source intelligence unit, verifies key details against other online chatter. They raise the alarm. While the German panzers still achieve initial breakthroughs, the element of total surprise is gone. The Allies are not caught flat-footed. And most crucially, General George S. Patton, tasked with relieving the besieged forces at Bastogne, doesn't have to guess the enemy's intentions. He has the playbook. In our history, Patton's Third Army made an incredible, near-miraculous pivot to relieve Bastogne in a matter of days. In this timeline, with perfect information, his advance is even faster, more precise, more devastating. He knows exactly where to strike. The German offensive, designed to be a decisive blow, collapses into a catastrophic failure far more quickly. The losses are immense. The German war machine is broken. With its armies in the west shattered and the Soviets closing in from the east, the Nazi regime crumbles. The war in Europe doesn't end in May 1945. It ends in February. The internet has saved millions of lives and shortened the world's greatest conflict by months. But this digital utopia has a dark side. The same technology that exposes truth can also be used to create convincing lies. Deepfakes, though primitive, begin to appear. A fake video of a British general ordering a retreat. A manipulated audio clip of Roosevelt sounding frail and defeated. Disinformation becomes a constant, exhausting battle. And for the soldiers and the public, there's another cost. Psychological trauma. There is no escape from the war. It's on their screens. 24/7. The constant, unfiltered exposure to violence and death creates a new, widespread form of PTSD, not just for the soldiers, but for the entire global population that watched them fight. The world is safer, but it is also sadder, more anxious. Its innocence irrevocably lost in the endless scroll of a digital feed. Looking back from our own hyper-connected world, this alternate history serves as a powerful parable. The story of Private Eddie Harlan and the Gianet is a fiction, but the lessons are real. Today, we live in that world. Information is a weapon. Social media is a battlefield, and every one of us is on the front line, whether we know it or not. The war for truth, for context, for our own peace of mind, is one we fight every single day when we unlock our phones. The technology has changed, but the stakes remain the same. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey through history thought-provoking, consider subscribing for more explorations of the world that is, and the world that might have been.